What's up, Bronco Nation? I'm Evan Sanford, and today I'm joined by Chase Gorefield and Karter Davis, and we are the Bronco Fans Roundup.
We're back,
and
baby.
Even if my Twitter feed doesn't show it, I am still a Bronco fan. But the overall theme of today's podcast, I mean, you guys get your news from the actual Boise media, so we don't need to go over every transfer edition. We had 16 or 17 of them coming into added from the portal or from the JUCO.
Stop that, Chase.
Stop, Chase.
I teach in high school. I can't help it.
Yeah.
We thought we killed that. Anyways, we've got a bunch of new players, but today's podcast is really just going to be a vibe check for the fan base, vibe check for college football, talking about some of the changes and some positives. Hopefully we can get you excited for headed into the next season of Boise State football. So without further ado, let's just get started. The Broncos season ended absolutely horribly, and our podcast was delayed because simply I just didn't want to talk about it.
We were suffering from seasonal depression.
Yeah, it was rough. Personally, I felt it was very they just shouldn't have played that bowl game to begin with. Like, if you have an injured quarterback, maybe I think they said he tweaked something during the championship game. So you're trotting out Maddox when he's hurt, and then he gets hurt again, and you throw, 4 or 5 combined interceptions against an above average
To me,
team.
It was almost like rolling CJ Tiller out against UCLA in the LA Bowl a few years. Like what are we even doing?
It's like, what? Like, the vibes were great after the Mountain West title game. We felt good again. Boise State's back on top. That's where, honestly, they should have ended their season. I think it was a bit of malpractice. Maybe it was like, hey, we're not going to always get a shot at Washington like this. Maybe they were eyes bigger than their stomach. But that's what you got. And I think they shouldn't have even played that game. But here we are. They got absolutely humiliated on national TV, and the vibes are about as bad as how they started when we rolled into Raymond James Stadium down there in whatever city in Florida that was.
Tampa Bay.
And got humiliated by USF. Like, it started how it ended. So, vibe check. Not great. Still not great. It's February. Still not great. In fact, there's another Broncos sports team that is the embodiment of not great. And they're just – so the vibes are just down bad.
It's an odd feeling for sure.
It is. And it's an odd feeling coming off a championship season to be feeling as negative as some of us are, myself included. I'm probably leading the charge on that. But we came up with a few positives about this offseason or headed into the next season. We wanted to kind of discuss those and see if we can get you, the fan base, excited for next year. So I came up with 3. I'll just share mine real quick. We got competition. So that's talking about all these transfers. We've got 3 new players coming in, 3 new players on the offensive line, 5 DBs. Like, I think they heard us or heard all our screaming. It feels like 2 or 3 years of screaming at the secondary. So 5 DBs, 2 defensive linemen, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 linebackers, and a long snapper. And please, if my count is not correct or if things have changed, people change position, whatever, just let me know in the comments below. But that's what I got. And I think that's great. New blood, competition. We have 2 new coaches joining the staff after Matt Miller, Demario Warren, and I'm blanking, departed. There was a 3rd coach that left. Who was that?
It was the former Ball State guy. He was safeties coach, and for some reason nobody ever.
Tyler Stockton. Thank you.
Stockton. Yeah.
Yep. So we've got new blood. They promoted Frank Miley, and which honestly, that is
keeping him around is huge. I think
that is huge. The fact that we were able to get him as an analyst last year, like, That's going to be great. Zach Hill has like a new. There are guys with new titles all around. There's a shuffling in the coaching staff. There's a newness. Hopefully, it's self-reflection, learning from mistakes, and truly seeking to correct them headed into next season. And then finally, we got a clean slate, and we're headed into the Pac-12. So a lot of familiar faces, sure. But hey, we get to play Wazoo every year now. We get to play Oregon State. College football fans talk about regionality as being the secret spice of college football. And absolutely, like, I want to go to a game in Pullman, whether Boise State is playing or not. Like, talk about a passionate fan base that will still show up for a 2-10 team. Because, I mean, win or lose, we still booze was basically invented in Pullman. Like, they have never – their team might go 0-12, but they are undefeated at a party. Wazoo, it's going to be great. And then there's Oregon State. They're kind of like Wazoo's like snobbier cousin who has even less to be proud of, but still great vibes. A lot of fun. That's just the general vibe I get from Oregon State. If Oregon State fans, if you're watching this, correct me, but like you guys just do come off as a little bit holier than thou. Just say it. So,
I think this season might have checked that for them, but
yeah,
they still claim to be Power 4, Power 5 status or whatever.
Yeah. Stick to baseball.
Yeah,
and wrestling.
Yeah, and wrestling. I was trying to think of what else they're good at. Anyways, there's still a lot of good headed into the 2026 season. So we'll talk about competition, new blood, including all that stuff. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I just want to throw it around the horn, guys. What are some positives that you guys have that help this vibe?
I mean, I can step in. First off, my vibe is fantastic. I'm excited for football always. Like, that bowl game sucked, but after about a week or two, I was like, all right, I'm excited for football again. And I think we'll go undefeated and like all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I think I'm just a natural optimist. But when it comes to my three things, I think the first one is I wrote down small improvements, not big changes. So we lost a wide receiver coach. We lost some secondary coaches. By the way, I don't know how Tyler Stockton escaped, like, not being criticized at all, but Demario Warren.
He slid under the radar, didn't he?
Hindsight, everybody wanted Warren fired, but I swear half the time it was the safeties messing up, and I don't know how people were not like, get this guy out of here. Because, when he was hired, like, I think he went to Michigan. When he was hired to Michigan, some people were like, oh, my God, I can't believe we lost such an amazing coach. And I was sitting there like, he was half the coaching staff for the worst part of the defense until the end of the season. So I was like, that's what I mean by small improvements. You know, we got a new wide receiver coach. We got a person that's going to cover the entire secondary. You know, we updated some coaching staffs. And the not big changes kind of plays into the second point. I have a plug and play because not big changes, we didn't really lose anybody in the transfer portal. You know, except for Benefield. But with that, we brought in I think a star FCS safety from South Dakota. Really, the rest of it was, you know, trying to build up the depth and trying to get guys who can plug in and play for us. But, I mean, we didn't lose Jaden Virgin Morgan. We didn't lose Max Steege. We lost some running backs that weren't even playing anyways, but we didn't lose Syra Gaines, Dylan Riley. Like, really, we got guys who we can plug in to make the team better, not guys that we had to get out of desperation, I think.
You know, Karter, sorry to interrupt, because you made a really good point that I want to build on, is that the guys that we're adding, they're coming up a level. They are proven at a certain level. They have accolades to their name. We're not just getting some kid that went to a Power 4 school, never played, that maybe they were overhyped, and then they dropped down, and they still have no playing experience to their name. We're getting guys who are bona fide starters in their program. Yeah, it's a lower level, but just think of George Tarlas. Guys like that, they prove themselves at a lower level, and they earn an opportunity. Not only that, but they are physically and mentally more mature now because they have gone through that process. You're not getting some bounce or drop. What do you call it? A bounce back or something. Anyways,
I
forget.
or something.
I can't remember the actual term.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I think one of the best coaches in college football right now is Curt Cignetti. And the way he got kids out of the transfer portal, I think, is exactly how Boise State is doing it, looking for production over, brand value. Because that's what I think UNLV did, is that they got a lot of guys from SEC schools.
Former 5-star, former 4-star.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure they just got a quarterback from Auburn for the exact same thing. That
on his fourth school or whatever.
Yeah, that might work out, but I think following that approach has worked for Boise State, and I'm glad they stuck to it this way. Still love how they're going into the JUCO ranks. I think that's just hidden gems due to the transfer portal now. And my third point was kind of up to what Evan said. It's just new conference excitement. I mean, just being in the Pac-12. I mean, when the video of them replacing the blue turf and the Pac-12 logo was on blue turf, like, people are going to get excited. Even if, like, all that other stuff in the past is going to be forgotten, because it's just a fresh, clean slate of teams that actually care about putting up good results, schools investing in their sports, not having to go to Laramie, Wyoming. Even though Wyoming fans are good, I don't want to ever go to Laramie. So just new, like, exciting, clean slate stuff, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Chase, what do you got?
So you guys kind of covered one of mine, and I just put a lot of faces or new faces in a lot of places. And what I mean by that is I really love the way the staff used the transfer portal this year. And you guys mentioned it. We didn't try and go for some of those big names because, frankly, we can't afford them, right? Some of those, like a 4-year starter out of UCLA, we're not going to be able to afford that, right? So they went smart. They went with guys with proven numbers, with proven track record at smaller schools, right? You guys mentioned Roman Tillman from South Dakota. I'm excited about him. Darren Morris, the receiver out of Southern University. Jericho Washington out of Kennesaw State. Like, these guys from these smaller schools. And then a couple of JUCO guys. It's nice to see them approach them because we can't compete like money-wise, NIL-wise, with some of these bigger schools going after these huge names, right? So what does Boise State do? They did some homework, looked a little bit deeper, didn't go for the shiny thing that was available, right? They looked for they dug deeper, and I hate the phrase diamonds in the rough because it's overused, it's cliche at this point. But they found some guys that I think are going to plug in and play pretty well in those vacated spots. Right. So Agreed. I really like the way they use the transfer portal at this level. That's what Boise State. That's it. Any team at Boise State's level needs to do, right? I mean, the jury's still out whether or not these guys come in and can actually contribute, right? We'll see. But I definitely like kind of the under the radar vibe they got with the transfer portal.
And you know what? I kind of came up with a question for you guys as you guys were talking, because we're all talking about competition. And I think it's great. We're talking about these new additions, guys that can really come in, potentially plug and play. So what position group? And I think there's an obvious two. So if we want, we can narrow it down. But what position group do you think is going to have the most exciting competition and the most, I guess, newness or the most new faces?
One of my 3 positive things is exactly that. So I can.
Oh, wait, did I not? Were you not finished?
I only said one.
That's
all right.
Oh,
I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Okay,
oh, my bad. I can't count.
No, you're good. The receiver core overhaul was
there you go.
Like, we got Akeem Wright, that JUCO All-American receiver. We have a Darren Morris. I'm really excited about Terrius Favors. Like, the most consistent receiver on the team last year was Ben Ford until he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Chris Marshall, may you have a wonderful year at Arkansas, but I was not upset to see him leave.
Yeah. I think it was benefiting for everybody.
Yeah. New guys, hopefully more consistent. I'm just excited to get it just feels different, that room. Right? So I'm excited about that. So that's my position and my second positive thing. My third one is, and maybe this is just an outsider's perspective, the offseason and what the coaching staff is doing it feels like a more mature brand representation of Boise State football. Like what I mean by that is Danielson just finished his second full year as head coach at Boise State. He's young. I think he's learned a lot over the last 2 years. And not that Boise State was like, oh, we're the best, beating our chest, and everyone else sucks. If you come at the king, you best not miss, right? None of that. But it just feels more like a low-key, let's just get back to business, focus on the details, focus on what matters approach to the offseason right now. And some of that is maybe the Twitter, that Boise State Twitter account hasn't been as active. I don't know. It just feels more of a focus on what matters feeling coming
a little more
from the
subdued
program right now.
A little bit more. Yeah. Let's lunch pail. This did not end the way we wanted to.
Which is what Boise State built its brand on, was that bring your lunch pail and work really hard.
Yeah.
So it just feels like that's the vibe I get coming out of the stadium and the program right now.
And maybe Danielson just sat down and watched that new Netflix documentary about the Miracle on Ice, and he got inspired by Herb Brooks. It's like, okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. So, like, I mean,
well, and kind of what Karter said, to go back to Curt Cignetti, that team was almost perfect in its attention to details and how it approached things and did things. And that means that opponents had the smallest margin of error of any. You had to play almost perfectly to give yourself a chance to beat Indiana. And that's just all about details, you know?
Yeah. So absolutely. So I think you answered that question. You think wide receivers will have the most or maybe the best competition, maybe not necessarily the most new faces, because I do think Quentin Brown, we're going to see him. Don't forget about Gavin Packer, and some of the other guys too, Ben Ford. And then there was that third member of that wide receiver class who got in. Oh, geez. He saw some time. It's not Whitlock. Whitlock transferred.
Yeah, he transferred out.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll look it up while you're talking.
I think the wide receivers are going to be exciting, but then the other group, and I think it's pretty obvious. You got 5 incoming new faces that are defensive backs, corners, safeties, all that. I think Boise State on their official roster are just labeling them as DBs now.
Camonte Williams.
Yeah, thank you. He's our 6'5" guy, right?
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yep.
Yeah. So, like, I'm really excited for the wide receivers, but I think the defensive backs, that they have a lot to prove. Yeah. And while the wide receivers might get a little bit more attention for how bad they were last year, and thus how bad the passing attack was, and really hamstringing our offense, the defensive backs also caught a lot of flack for a good reason, but didn't catch as much flack as their coach. So, yeah, I think the defensive back battle is going to be one that's really interesting. So I'll go DBs. Karter, which group?
Yeah, I think one that kind of went under the radar, except for when these guys committed, was the running back room. Because you lost Gregard, you lost Dubar, but a lot of people were like, well, we have Sire Gaines, we have Dylan Riley, but that room has been kind of plagued with injuries to the point of, like, we kind of need that depth. And now all of a sudden, I know we just bagged on it of getting Power 4 guys, but we got a guy from Pittsburgh and we got a guy from Kansas. So I mean, right there, it just seems at least the talent should be equal, if not greater. Just by common sense, you would think for Ard, who never played, and Jubar, who kind of had a chance but never did anything with it. I think the running back room could really be revitalized with some new blood. And with this mix of, like, wide receivers, it could give them more opportunity to run. And what I mean by that is that last season, we're a run-first offense, but when the pass failed, you didn't have Ashton Genty back there, but we kind of treated it like we did, and we just run the ball into a brick wall. Now that you have more people here, it just pushes competition more. You have guys who might be coming from a Power 4 to a G5. It's like, okay, I need to prove myself here. So that room, I think, could be a dark horse of the best group in the offense. But at the end of next season, could be the shining star of the offense, just because there's now 4 guys there who either went Power 4 and have a chip on their shoulder or are the starters and are going to try to keep it that. So I think that running back room could be interesting to watch.
Adding what's his name? Harry Stewart was awesome. But the Jules Goff, the kid from Pittsburgh, just felt like a luxury ad. Like, we don't need to do this, but let's do it just because we can.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what it is. It's like, it wasn't like a JUCO kid or anything like that. And, I don't want to go down that UNLV route, but it's just like, we didn't need to add that guy, but he wanted to be here. So it's like, that's just another horse in the stable that's just going to we can hand the ball up to you, 5 to 10 times a game and just see what he can do.
Yep.
So bear with me here for a minute because I'm going to kind of go down a little NFL tangent, but I'm a Seahawks fan, obviously. I don't know if you guys can.
I didn't.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And I'm excited to watch DeMarcus Lawrence and George Holani on Sunday. Maybe I forgot to mention that at the top of the hour, but here's the point. Last spring, they're even further back, actually. As a Seahawks fan the past couple of years, you've got Pete Carroll just kind of mediocre. You knew what you were going to get. Geno Smith, DK Metcalf's an asshole. Pardon my language, but just uninspired football. Ho-hum, maybe you make a playoff game, get your butt kicked, rinse, repeat. And then this offseason came around. We got Mike McDonald, completely overhauls the roster. New offensive coordinator, bring in Sam Darnold, trade Metcalf, bring in Cooper Kupp. They completely change the locker room. They change it. There's almost like a cleansing, like a breath of fresh air. And now all of a sudden, Seahawk football is exciting again. You get rid of some bad apples. I'm not going to say who were not bad apples, but some guys who maybe didn't really fit in with the culture move on.
More of a me guy and not a team we guy potentially.
And as a Seahawk fan, that was DK Metcalf. He's Pittsburgh's problem now, and but for Boise State football, this offseason, at least with new coaches come in, and new coaches without any ties to Boise State football, mind you. We've got new players. It's kind of a workman-like mentality, getting back to your roots type of thing. Does feel like a breath of fresh air. And I was debating whether or not I was going to mention it or not. I know there's 1.5 million people in the forum and in the comment section are saying, well, Maddox Madsen sucks. And I'm not thrilled about it. But if you can give Maddox Madsen receivers who can catch a football, if you can give Maddox Madsen a decent running attack, there's a good chance that we could get back into the CFP.
It can improve things for sure. It can raise the floor.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
As a fan, am I happy about it? No. But it's where we are, and there's still a lot of reason to be excited about Boise State football because players can get better. That's what we're all hoping for. In his senior season, Maddox Madsen elevates his game, but not only that, he has the tools around him to actually do that. We have a lot of new offensive linemen who are going to come and compete. Hopefully that unit's able to get healthy, but they added dependable depth. Drink. Then we have, there it is. We have basically a brand new wide receiver core, a lot of talent around Maddox, or a lot of talent to throw to. Then we've got the running backs. Malik Sherrod, he gave it his all for Boise State.
They finally figured out how to use him better, like the last 2 games of the season.
Honestly, they finally figured it out instead of running him into the middle of the offensive line or whatever.
But now he's gone, and now you have to think it's going to be more of that split between our 2 really good running backs, Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines. Then we got those transfers. They will sprinkle in, but you have to think, the coaches see what we see. They've got 2 bell cows that they got to feed. Now, they also need to keep them healthy. So you bring in 2 guys with experience who can also get the ball on maybe 3rd and long, 3rd and passing down, something like that. Maybe come in for a series, whatever. You got to keep those guys on a bit of a pitch count, but you have talent there. The point I am trying to make is that Boise State feels like they've gone through a bit of a spring cleaning in the winter time. I know my metaphors aren't perfect.
It feels like spring out there.
Yeah. God. Anyways, there's a newness in the air, as Chase mentioned earlier, and it's refreshing. So there's a lot of Maddox Madsen haters out there, and I'm not going to hide from all the tweets that I've said about him. I'm not thrilled that we didn't go get another quarterback, but if you're, please don't. But if you're going to hate on Maddox Madsen, as I have, also give him a chance to get better and recognize the fact that he had no help last year, or virtually no help. And how on earth is he supposed to function when his wide receivers cannot catch the football when it hits them in the hands with no one within 5 yards of them?
We've said this before. He's like the ultimate game manager. At least he should be, right? And if you're calling upon him to be Tom Brady or to throw for 450 yards a game, you're just putting him in a position he's not capable and not comfortable with playing, right? Like, that's just he's a game manager.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And before the season, we talked about, can he go above that level? Now we know that he can't. But, we got all these running back pickups. We got all these wide receiver pickups. Maybe Maddox can go back to what it was with Ashton Genty. Maybe not with one person, but in the aggregate. So, yeah, like you've been saying, Evan, I definitely agree. Now that we got more of these people, it could be better.
I mean, like, you go back to 2024, and he had Cam Camper as wide receiver one. Cam Camper could catch a football. Yeah. Latrell Caples, at that point, could catch a football.
For the most part, can catch football.
The best wide receiver we had last year was Ben Ford, and then he got hurt. Like, no offense to Ben Ford, but even his drop rate was way too high. Like, it's not a great recipe for success. So even if, like, you get Maddox at his best, he didn't really have much to go with. We're just hoping to go back to 2024, a healthy Maddox Madsen. He can manage the game and basically, like, minimize the what do you want? What's the polite way of saying don't F it up?
Minimize the negative ramifications of his actions in play.
And this is why we have a teacher.
You guys are convincing me. So, like, I'm feeling more optimistic. Like, you guys know I've been coaching basketball, high school basketball. It's been crazy. I haven't had time to mentally process the end of the Boise State season. Like, it's in the back of my mind. I'm sure once my basketball season ends, I'm going to be like, sit down and just cry into a glass of Mountain Dew or something about it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But listen to you guys and talking things through. This is our therapy session, as we've said. It gives me hope that, like, as Evan said, that we have new additions that can raise the level of everyone, including Madsen, right? Like, we get new guys, fresh faces. It's not the same routines. It's different people fighting for these positions. And there's definitely some more optimism, some more hope in the program because of it. And I'm feeling that a little bit now, thanks to you guys.
Yeah. No, because with
podcast successful.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyone who saw my Twitter feed, not that there's a lot of you because I don't have a lot of followers, and nor do I deserve many.
There are literally dozens of us.
Dozens.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you saw my Twitter feed, I was, like, in a bad place about our Broncos. And even then, like, it hasn't improved that much. And it has taken a little just sitting down, talking with you guys in a little bit, like, hey, you know what? The sky isn't necessarily falling. Like, dude, is there one game next year that I'm really not looking forward to? Yes. But then there's 11 more that I think we could win. So,
yes.
Speaking of which, that's actually a good segue into what I think could be a fun little topic. Maybe round us off here on a little off-season podcast. The 2026 football schedule. We still need one opponent, and the Pac-12 hasn't really announced what they're going to do with it just yet. If we're going to, like, play a Pac-12 team that does not count towards the conference schedule. It's basically a non-con, and you play someone twice.
Don't like that.
Yeah, I don't really care for that either.
I do have a caveat on that I saw on X that I'll bring up in defense of that thing.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what you're talking about. And
if you're thinking of the same idea, it's not a bad idea. I'm not sure if you saw it, Chase.
Yes.
I'll bring it up when we get to it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Put a pin in that, because that'd be a really good topic, because if they can make that happen, that's my number one. Absolutely. Do they go get an FCS? A lot of people have been talking about an Idaho, and personally, no. No, I don't want to promote them. I would rather go play URI, University of Rhode Island, ship them in all the way from
we lost. He might come back. Hold on. Anyways, keep going.
But I would rather ship in University of Rhode Island. That's my dad's alma mater. Ship them all the way in from wherever it is. And is it? I don't know if it's in Providence or not, but wherever. Then play Idaho. Then we have. There's going to be a caveat to this. There's 4 FBS teams that have openings to their schedule. The caveat is that might have changed. I tried to find the most recent list that I possibly could. So correct me if I'm wrong. But Florida International, Jacksonville State, the University of Ohio, and the USC, Southern California, have openings. And of those 4 teams, or an FCS, or maybe this Pac-12 scenario, what would you guys rather see? And I think right now is probably a good time for Karter to explain the Pac-12 scenario.
Yes. So this scenario, I don't know who created it, so I can't give credit to it. But I thought...
Hold on. We're getting someone's got something going on in their background.
Is you watching TV in the background?
Am I? My son is. It's quiet though.
What's he watching?
Some stupid anime.
Damn, that's rude.
There's no such thing as a stupid anime.
I'll mute myself while I'm not talking. Go.
No problem. So I hope I don't mess it up. I bet I could find it if I look it up, but I'm not going to put that much effort into it. But basically, the idea is that the last game, or like the last conference game for a bunch of teams, or for at least 4 teams, could be like some sort of playoff system, if I remember it right. So It would be the top 4 teams, number 1 and number 4, number 2 and number 3. They play each other at home, and then the conference figures out the rest of the other team schedules, just play another team twice. But basically, it's like a play-in playoff game for the conference championship. And I think that's interesting because, some people don't like the idea of playing a team twice, but Boise State has played UNLV 5 times in the past 3 years. So we've done it before, 2 years, in the past 2 years. And back during COVID, BYU and Coastal Carolina put together a game within 1 week. And teams always have to put together strategies. They have to put together travel plans. They have to put together entire football operations for conference championship games. UNLV has had to do it to come to Boise. We had to do it when we went to UNLV one time. We basically had to do it for the LA Bowl because it was a week after the conference championship. So teams know how to do it. It would make the game more exciting because basically it's a play-in into the conference championship game. And I think that it kind of solves the problem because the other teams that aren't in the top 4, they already know they're not making the conference championship, so it doesn't really matter. Now, if there's 5 or 6 teams that kind of have all similar records, then it might get a little dicey here. But out of the 3 options, I think that one is the most exciting. I think that's a cool sort of thing where you don't know who you're going to play. And as the season kind of goes on, you'll figure it out in the last week and you'll know okay, this is a bigger game. If it's maybe at Wazoo or at Oregon State, you might get more fans to attend. It just adds more excitement to it. So that would be my first choice. Second choice is the 4 other FBS teams. And then last is FCS because I'm pretty sure we already play an FCS school. So
we do.
two FCS games just invalidates the whole schedule, I feel like.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if we're already playing Oregon, I'd rather not feed Maddox Madsen to the Wolves a second time in the season, right? With USC. Like I don't know if that's
But hey, you've got three other teams.
Yeah, absolutely. But the other FBS teams I think I'm great with. And as long as they're coming to Boise, I don't want to have to travel, and I don't want to go to Athens, Ohio? Where is that? Where University of Ohio is?
I don't even know.
Like
I don't know.
But Karter, that scenario, that Pac-12 scenario is interesting. The one plus if it's a team you've already played, you have film of each other from earlier in the season, right? It's not like it's oh crap, we got to scramble because we have nothing on these guys yet, right? You have film already. You've played them once. And for me, playing a team twice is always interesting. I do in basketball, right? Like, what adjustments can you make? What can you prepare for their adjustments they're going to make, right? It adds another layer to the complexity that is football. So
and boys, there's one other thing to
Chase,
add to that.
here it is. So like this would be kind of the idea. I didn't mean to cut you off, Evan, but I found it. So 1, 4, 2, 3, that would be like the top 4. And then, these other teams, they play each other because it doesn't matter. Like, seems interesting. It would be brand new, but everybody
Oregon State celebrating their 7th place championship place in the Pac-12.
But guys, there's one thing there that we haven't really touched upon Karter, you started to talked about Boise State played UNLV like 5 times in the last 3 years. What did that do? That created a little bit of a budding rivalry, if you will. So what I'm going to say is familiarity breeds contempt.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that do? It puts butts in seats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to get a fan emotionally charged stadium. You want to pack that house, like play a team a second time with a trophy on the line. Like, even if you won, then you get to lord it over them, say, hey, we're going to kick your butts in our house. And if you lost, that's like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to like learn from that, and we're going to embarrass you on your home turf.
But how would you guys feel about like playing a team in back-to-back weeks?
Now that I hate.
Right? Like you play Fresno.
I mean, we did that with UNLV.
Let's say it's for the number one. Yes, the number 1 seed, and then the 4 seed is the loser, right?
Let's just hope that doesn't happen.
We got to play him again. And what if like you win that game, and then the championship game is against a team you played the week before the last game, right? Like that's a lot of.
It's a scenario that you hope doesn't happen. But I'm willing to risk it because familiarity breeds contempt, and you get butts in seats, and you just get that almost rivalry-like energy. You're facing them a second time. Maybe it was a close loss. Maybe it was a close win. You believe in your team this time around. You hate those opposing fans. You want to shut them up.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would only build up, I think, the tension. And if you're playing for the 1 or 4 seed, it gives the guys to play harder for, because they get to be in front of their home fans and stuff like that.
Like the European soccer kind of relegation promotion feel. Not the same
a little
thing,
bit,
but it adds more,
similar.
It adds more buy-in and more importance to some of those late.
And those teams at the bottom could still be playing to just make it to a bowl game. So they still have things to play for, just not a conference title.
Exactly.
Or just trying to be not last. I think
that's pretty good too.
The team in 8th place in the conference might, depend, like,
they have to play FCS the next year.
They get sent to the Mountain West.
They get sent to the Mountain West.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vanished.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Who do you think will even win that dumpster fire of a conference?
I don't care. Probably New Mexico or UNLV. But
I made my kind of let's just say not sober prediction of NIU, and I stick with it.
I mean, they were terrible this year, so I can't imagine that. I think Eck is going to carry that program as high as it can go.
Yeah, but the MAC is a friggin' gauntlet.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
They had to play on Tuesdays,
Buffalo,
Karter.
Miami of Ohio, and
With
I'm saying all this, but we play Western Michigan, and they actually look somewhat good. So this might come back to bite me.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. All right. So I think that's between Karter and myself. That would be the ideal scenario. Is this kind of like quasi play-in game? Chase, are you on board, or do you like?
I don't hate it.
Okay. You don't hate it.
I think it's the best of not the most appealing of options, right? Like I like it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the other options better. I don't know if I'll like that year after year after year, but if there's not better options, I like it. I think I'm okay with it.
I wouldn't want it to be the constant thing when they go to. I either want divisions or just whatever it is, top 2 teams. But if it's already a weird conference, it's already a weird year until they get that 9th member to kind of round it out. Just make some weirdness out of it. Make them both Pac-12 after dark, one at 7, one at 6, one at 9, something like that, and just let it go.
Yeah. All right. So of those 3, well, I think we're all agreed that we want no part of USC. What team? Oh no, I'd be terrified.
I don't want to go play any road games in the state of Florida. I'm a little weary of that right now. So
fair enough. So you are going with Ohio.
That's probably my second choice of the.
I wouldn't mind Ohio. Yeah.
Which Jacksonville is it?
Is that the one that Dion was at before he went to Colorado?
No.
Or is that Jackson?
That's
State?
Jackson State.
Okay.
Yeah. Where is
Jacksonville State?
The Jaguars, right? This is the Jaguars?
They're the Gamecocks.
Gamecocks.
That's right.
I think Jaguars are South Alabama.
Is this Jacksonville, Florida, or another Jacksonville?
I think it's Alabama.
Alabama?
Oh. Let me look it up.
I'm Googling it. It's Jacksonville, Alabama.
Honestly, I'd say least worst option would be FIU.
Big brain.
But
that's it. So FIU's in Miami proper, whereas University of Miami's in Coral Gables. So
FIU, you play them in their like fancy.
They're playing in Pitbull Stadium.
Yeah, there you go.
Stadium.
That's what it's called, Pitbull Stadium.
All right, you've convinced me. Pitbull Stadium it is.
And then I don't know, get some kind of recruiting imprint in South Florida. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Pitbull is contractually obligated to perform at least one halftime show per season. It's named after him. He bought the naming rights to the stadium.
Mr. Worldwide.
I swear to God, you can look it up.
That's funny.
Give me the FIU Pitbulls. Let's go.
Awesome.
All right. Well, viewers, type in the comment section below. Who would you rather between like this Pac-12 tournament or FIU, Jacksonville State, Ohio, or if you're a sadist, USC, masochist, I should say, or an FCS? Tell us what you think in the comment section below. But on that note, I think it's
also one more thing. Also, put what's your favorite Pitbull song. just now that we're talking about
it's Shake Senora is the best Pitbull song.
I keep hearing I Love Miami. I keep seeing I Love Miami TikToks on with the dancing fruit. I don't know if it's a new song or something, but
okay, true story. Real quick, Evan's trying to wrap up, but so
I want to talk about Pitbull.
My basketball team, we have our practices, and there's a big speaker on wheels that I think they have it for PE or something, and so we play music during our practices. And every freaking time, they always want to play white girl music. So I go to Spotify, I search white girl music, and there's a playlist called White Girl Bangers, and there's a lot of Pitbull on there. So
I heard
some Pitbull this morning.
White Girl Bangers.
Oh, okay.
Check it out. Yeah.
Literally, the only song I can think of is that hotel one.
We
at the motel, Holiday Inn.
What's sad is that this just looks like a 2016 fucking.
Maybe someone just rebranded it.
I'm old. Anyways,
he did come to Boise. I saw him in Boise.
Pitbull did not come to Boise.
He did in 2018? It's the end of my first year of PT school.
Interesting. Anyways,
he was Anyway, okay. So, time to end. So I guess viewers, thank you so much for watching. It's the off season. Podcasts are going to be sporadic. We have busy lives, and we will be back. Rest assured, we'll be back. We don't know when we'll be back, but we will be back.
You can't get rid of us. We keep coming back.
Yep. You will see us again.
We are your mom's favorite podcast. Go Broncos. Good night.